Exactly 1 year ago today, I finished preaching my final sermon in a church over in Pennsylvania. Put as much stuff as I possibly could stuff into my car and drove over to Huntington, Indiana. And it's like, wow, it's been one whole year. Some of you are thinking it seems longer than that. I was only momentarily deterred by a demonic deer in defiance, but I prevailed. It was interesting. I'd never hit a deer with a car in my entire life, and just the time when I'm coming over here to begin a new ministry, this thing runs out in front of my car, and it was interesting. It happened. And you call 911, the police come, and I say, you know what? I don't know what happened to the deer. I hit it, but I don't know. It was dark out, and I go, I don't know if it ran away. I'll go, oh, no, it didn't run. It's about 50 yards back, and everybody's running over it. And I go, oh, okay. So, anyway, it's been good to be here, and I don't know if I'm going to use the word fun, but in a lot of ways, it's been fun to be pastoring here. Now, fun is not the ultimate thing, but what I know, if there's an absence of joy in what you're doing, it's indicative of some other issues that aren't all that healthy. So, there's been fun, but there's been, maybe more important than that, there's been fulfillment, there's been movement, there's been unity, and just things that fun doesn't normally describe. But that's what it's been like. And I think that will continue. You know, if God has His way and our prayers are answered, hopefully that just stays on that. But it's been really, really, in case you're wondering, what am I thinking? I'm thinking it's been good to be here, and if it's okay, I'd like to stay around a while. Now, okay. Now, I noticed that some of you clapped. I'm not sure. Okay. You might think, he doesn't know. I can see everything from up here. Everything. And I want to know what was with that. It wasn't any clapping at all. And no, we're okay. Hey, look, we've been in the book of James, as you know. And James has just been incredible. And there's this theme that runs clear through James. And, it's faith, but it's not faith alone. It's just not what you believe. It's not just the right doctrine, although correct doctrine is incredibly important. The church over the centuries, they fought over correct doctrine, and when we don't give that up, right? We don't water things down. I mean, one of the most important things is in this church, and in my mind, we still hold the Bible up. It's still the authoritative Word of God without error. Where else are you going to go to for truth? And so that just is. And doesn't everyone believe that? Especially, outside the church. But that's what we believe. And so doctrine is incredibly important. How do you get saved? Well, by grace, through faith. But there's even actions, because whenever the word judged as you, or we being judged by God, it's not judged by our faith. We're judged on what we do. We're judged according to our deeds. So James is incredibly important. Linking what we believe with what we do. And you know that one of the hardest things in life to do is to do what we know to be true or to be right. If I were to ask you, what is one thing? Think of one thing. It doesn't have to be the big. What is one thing you need to start doing in your life now? And you know, don't you? You know there's one thing. For some of you, you need to go see a doctor, don't you? You know you do, but you don't want to go. Hey, look, I'm with you on that. I don't ever want to go. Whenever I look up, I got to go to the doctor today. I'm not excited about that. They poke and they prod, and sometimes you got to get undressed, and it's like, and they charge you. If it was free, that would be one thing, but it's not, and you know that. It's not free. Do we need to turn up the AC? Do we need to turn up the AC? Can I turn up the AC? Yeah. Some of you are sitting there giving me like you're about ready to faint, and It'd be kind of fun, but we don't want to do that. So we got to turn up the AC, open up the windows. Away we go. Away we go. I can't. Yeah, another thought came in that I can't say it. It'd be inappropriate. No, not. I don't need any coaxing. Yeah, I don't need any coaching from the front row. Just say it, man. Just say it. I'm not going to. All right, I'll talk to you a little later. Well, here we are in James. Not a starting minute. Here in James 3, verse 13 says, "Who among you is wise and understanding?" Yeah, who? And you might say, "Well, that would be me." You could think that would be me, and maybe it is. But if you think that you are a wise person and you know you need wisdom to live life well. You know, if you're a parent, you need wisdom. How many, I don't even take hands. How many of you are parents who just think many, many, many times you just blew it? You weren't even close to getting it right. Like you weren't even in the ballpark. You weren't even in the same zip code. I mean, you were so wrong you were almost right. That's how bad it was. We all have, and so, or I can't understand my spouse. You ever think, I can't understand, I don't know, and so therefore, and whenever we get together, and on it goes, and it's like that. And how can we get along? We made these vows, and I still love them, and I need wisdom. Or I'm in over my head financially. I don't know the way out of this, and I'm working hard, and I can't get the third job, and we've cut out things, and it still seems like, and I'm messed up. Or I don't feel close to God anymore. I used to, but I don't, and I wish I could get it back. I'm doing the right things, I think, but there's that sense of God is gone, and we need wisdom. Well, here it says, if you think you're wise, well, don't just tell people you're wise. Need to show that you're wise by how you act, your behavior, your good behavior, your good needs. And I love this, in the gentleness. If you're wise, there's gentleness. So you think, well, I'm just argumentative. That's just the way I've always been. That's the way my family. And so I get all worked up, and I know I come across harsh, and I say things I don't mean, and I say it in a way that I wish I didn't, but that's just me. Well, just look at this. There is a gentleness to godliness. Because isn't God gentle with you or with me? God is incredibly gentle with me and my heart. I don't fully understand. I just know if he wasn't, things would be different in a bad way. And so here it's be wise, and in that there's this gentleness. It's like when you handle a newborn. You're not clumsy with that, right? You're not, whoa, whatever. You go, whoa, because things can happen if you're not. You don't want to drop him, right? You got to be careful there. You don't want him to fall. I remember one of the worst sounds I've ever heard when my oldest son, I don't know how old he was, and we had him up on the bed. My wife and I were busy doing other stuff. Next thing I know, thud. You ever heard your little baby go thud? And then it's, and there's that delay between the thud, like they're getting full oxygen in their lungs, and then they're getting let her out. And I go, oh no, he fell off the bed. Will there be like ongoing, debilitating, these kind of things? But we should have watched him. But that's the first time he ever rolled over, I think. And so there's these first things. Well, because when they can't move, it's pretty safe. For a while, you put them down and they're there when you come back. But then they start rolling. And they roll fast and they roll far. They can roll through things. How do you get out there? I don't know. Oh no, door was locked. Yeah, I don't know. He got out there. Yeah. You gotta reel him back in, And they start to crawl, and you didn't know they could crawl faster than you could walk. But here they go. It's amazing. It's amazing what they can do. But there's this gentleness and how we need to treat one another. Wisdom, as I look at it, connects present behavior with future consequences and makes the necessary adjustments. Here, did you know that smart people aren't necessarily wise people? That there are some smart people, or let's say, man, they've been to college. Have you found out by now that there are people with college degrees and master's degrees and PhDs, and they have smarts about something, but they're not smart about everything? Does it ever amaze you that smart people can do stupid things? Sometimes I do something, I go, that was pretty stupid. And everybody would go, yeah, it was. Didn't take like a genius to see that. And an increase in intelligence does not necessarily correlate to an increase in wisdom. And that's why a lot of smart people do a lot of dumb stuff. I mean, how often have you thought about someone and you think, they should have known better? They should have seen that coming. Yeah, they should have, but they didn't. Or they didn't care enough to change what they were doing. If you keep on spending more than you make, do you know where that's going to take you? Where you don't want to be. If you keep on, these are just real basic things. Which would you rather have right now? $1 million or 1 penny that doubles itself every day for the next 30 days? Some of you know already, right? $1 million, because we've got it all in the back on the way out this morning. If you just want to pick up the $1 million, we just say so and we'll give that to you. Right. Or we can give you a penny. And we'll double that. And you come back in a month. Then you get that. Well, here's the answer. Well, if you take $1 million, of course you have $1 million. If you take 1 penny and you let it double itself every day for the next 30 days, you have over $10 million. Just because you know it doesn't mean you won't take the $1 million. Because, well, what if something happens in the next 30 days and I don't get to spend it? What if I die? What if I have a disease? Or what if I just want to have fun like now? Well, if you wait until tomorrow, that's going to make 2 cents. Not going to be a real party weekend. But if you give it 30 days, you can live large for the rest of your life. See, wise people, they know that, but they also know to wait. It's not just, I know. Yeah, I know. How many times have you heard people, I know, but. And oftentimes the but cancels out what you know. And I'm smart, but I'm not wise. I know better, but I'm not very wise, and so I keep on doing what I shouldn't do. Being old, this isn't to pick on the elderly, right? I'm not doing that. Being old doesn't mean that you're smart or wise. You could be an older smart person. You could be an older wise person, but it doesn't mean that. Some people say, well, just because I'm old, now I'm wise. No, you're not. You're just old. But it shouldn't be like that. Well, I've been around the block. Some people never learn, no matter how many times they go around the block. Experience is only a good teacher for those who are good students. And if you're not a learner, you're not willing to change up, you're not very wise. Change always accompanies those who learn. Here's the next part. See, if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your heart, don't be arrogant and so lie against the truth. Go ahead and admit that. I don't know the last time someone has admitted to being arrogant or having what we call selfish ambition going on within oneself. But it says that kind of wisdom, it didn't say that's not wise. It said that kind of wisdom, the source of that is not from God. It's from this earth. It's natural. It just kind of happens. It's demonic. It's fueled by, it says, jealousy, bitter jealousy. Jealousy desires to have what others have. I'm jealous because she has what I want. And you can fill in the blank for that. I want their looks. I wish I looked like, I'm just jealous. I wish I had their athletic ability. I wish I had their intelligence. I wish they didn't have that intelligence. I wish my job was their job. And I wish they didn't have that job so I could have their job. I wish I was young again. And so I'm mad at all young people these days because I wish I was them and I don't get another chance to be young again. And on and on and on it can go. I don't want them. And then it's fueled by, it says, selfish ambition. Is it good to have ambition? Yeah, but what's selfish ambition? Oftentimes, selfish ambition is I want what I want and I want it now. I want what I want and I want it now. And maybe it's like I want to be noticed. Or I want to be somebody. I will be somebody. I'm going to be envied. I am going to be a success. You may think, my parents weren't a success, but I will be a success. Or my family, my grandparents, I'm getting out of this and just watch me go. That can be selfish, and it can be. Can I just say that many people are driven by the earthly and by the demonic? Not all ambition is good ambition. I want to get somewhere in life. See, some of that can be okay. But this talks about there's a kind of selfish ambition that basically comes from demons or comes from the normal way of thinking about stuff. And this is the problem with that. It says, where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there is disorder in every evil. You want to know what the problem is? I mean, aren't we upset about the way the world is? The way that life is? The way that families are? I mean, if we think about it, there shouldn't be a drug problem in Huntington County. There shouldn't be. But there is. There shouldn't be domestic violence in this county or in this state. There shouldn't be. But there is. There shouldn't be moms and dads and kids who can't get along and who yell at each other and throw things and threaten one another or give each other the silent treatment and won't talk to one another. And they don't know how to get along anymore. They don't know how to come together as a family. You can't even sit down and eat anymore because people can't wait to get out of there. You know what? That shouldn't be, but we know that there's a lot of that going on. And there shouldn't be young people who are left to raise themselves because parents have not become wise and they don't know how to do it and they don't even care for their kids enough to take care. There shouldn't be that, but there is, and there is. So where there's jealousy and a bad ambition, there's this disorder and all the bad stuff. Wouldn't it be nice to live in a land where we did not need police officers? I mean, here, we're glad we have them because we need them. In judges and juries and courts and jails, wouldn't it be great we didn't need any of those folks? You're going, that'd be really nice. That'd be a part of heaven. That's right. There aren't going to be any squad cars in heaven. There aren't going to be any jails. There aren't going to be them. That's pretty nice. You can leave your doors unlocked. No one's going to break it in. No one's going to take your stuff. It's incredible. Yeah, but in the meantime, we got some stuff down here. And we've all seen it. We've all experienced it. And probably in some way, we've all contributed to it, and we don't like it, and we're tired of it. And if all you do is complain about it, you're just a part of the problem. Don't just complain about it. I mean, it's not hard to see. Be part of the solution. I have this next thought. Being precedes doing. We'll do something about it. But often we won't do what we need to do, or we won't do anything until we're a certain type of person. So I go, being precedes who we are comes before what we do. Or it needs to. You see, James then talks about this kind of wisdom. See, there's that kind of wisdom. The demonic wisdom, the wisdom that creates all kinds of nonsense, because I'll tell you this, demons aren't stupid. Right? They're not stupid. So if you go back to this kind of wisdom, they do a real good job of creating disorder and every evil thing, don't they? Yeah. They're not stupid, they're just not wise, and they're not good. They're real smart about how to cause upset and disorder in your life and in your home and in your community. They're real good at that because they've been doing it for a long, long time. They know what it takes. They know what buttons to push to get us all worked up. And they go like that, and we just respond. So they're not stupid. They just don't have any wisdom. But then, this kind of wisdom, this wisdom that comes from God, this wisdom from above, it's pure. The wisdom is pure, and it creates purity in those who are wise. The wisdom is peaceable, and it creates peace in the people who are wise. It's gentle. The wisdom is gentle, and it creates gentleness in the people who are wise. Here again, the being precedes our doing and what we do. When people, I just do it, I don't understand. Well, they don't have this kind of wisdom going on. It goes on from there. It's reasonable. It's full of mercy. It has good fruit. It's unwavering. Keeps on going. Doesn't have any hypocrisy from it. And so on and on, this kind of wisdom goes. I go, anybody can stir the pot. Anybody can create confusion. Anybody can get things all worked. Anybody can do that. But not anyone can do this. There's plenty, can I just say this? There's plenty of church folks who participate in a lot of nonsense. Did you know it's not just the Muslims who have holy wars? Who have jihads? People in the name of all kinds of religions will create their own holy war. And man, can they fight. We often think it's for righteousness, but sometimes it's just carnality. See, one who is wise is one who is gentle. Why? Because human beings are gentle beings, that's why. We are sensitive, aren't we? I could say, well, you don't look sensitive. You look kind of hard to me. I think you can take a verbal punch. Here, let's see. I think I can be kind of sharp and rough with you. Really? We're all sensitive. We all are easily offended. Now, some more than others. If I think you're just kidding around, because I kid around a lot, well, then you don't take it personal. But not all kidding is all that innocent. Sometimes it is. We're quickly hurt, aren't we? We're quickly hurt, and it takes long to heal for most people. That's why there has to be gentleness when it comes to wisdom. Here. The seed whose fruit is righteous is sown in peace by those who make peace. I love this. This is farming terminology. And we're a church in the middle of farmland, so we all get it. The seed whose fruit, who results in righteousness, you put it in the ground, and what it means is that this is a process. Righteousness and peace, it's a process. The seed that one day results in righteousness, the righteousness seed is planted and it's sown in peace. In the context of peace, and only in the context of peace, can you plant a seed that results in righteousness. And it's planted not only in peace, it's planted by those who are peacemakers. You see, we're called as Christ followers to be peacemakers. And don't you know there's plenty of turmoil and upset where we sure need peace, don't we? In the worst way, what we wouldn't give to have peace. Peace at school. Peace at work, peace in the home, peace in the neighborhood, peace, what we wouldn't give because we're up to here with the turmoil. But it takes great wisdom to be a peacemaker. The question I ask is, how much peace do you have right now? I mean, did you come to church this morning as a person who possesses peace? Or did you come with a lot of upset? Now, we're not saying that don't come to church unless you have peace. We're glad you're here. I mean, if you don't have peace, this is the place to be. And hopefully you have more than what you came in with as we're thinking through issues. To be a peacemaker, you have to have peace within. That's why I say being precedes doing. You can't help in the peace process if you're all worked up. Another word for peace could be contentment. What type of contentment did you come in with this morning? And we're not talking lazy. Contentment doesn't mean you're lazy. I don't do anything. Well, I got contentment. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about peace, meaning, well, then I'm just phasing out. Laying on the couch, don't do much, I'm at peace. Don't get all worked up, don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah, the garage will get painted, the grass will get mowed, the leaves will get raked. We're not talking about that. But if you're going to be used by God to be a peacemaker, because don't you know that we need peace everywhere? Did you know the biggest issue in the workplace today is that the workers don't know how to get along with each other? And if you're out there, you know that's not any news to me. I mean, the boss doesn't know how to get along with the employees. The employees don't know how to get along with the boss. They don't respect one another. Or the workers, they're sitting there, they can't get along with each other. And because of that, you're not nearly as productive as what you could be. Profit goes down when people don't get along. Or do you know if you're on an athletic team, the best athletic teams are those who just don't have the knowledge and the skill. They actually care for the others on the team. We love each other there's peace and harmony on the team. And you just spread wherever you're at, whatever's going on, where there's peace, things work well. Where there's not, it kind of comes tumbling down. It skips a few gears. There's turmoil and conflict, and bad things happen. But it takes wisdom. Be at peace with who you are and where you're at. Because then you can be a peacemaker. See, we have been called to be people of wisdom who possess and promote peace. Here's how to begin to get there. As I already noted, what's one thing you need to do that you're just not doing? And start doing it. How come I haven't been doing it? I guess I'm just lazy. I guess I'm not disciplined. I guess I just don't. Whatever. But start doing it. Just start doing it. You know what it is, don't you? See, if you don't do it, it doesn't go away and say, oh, well. You know what it does? It wears you out. It taps you on the shoulder. It keeps whispering in your ear. It could be, hey, when are you going to clean out the car? It looks like someone just took a garbage dump and turned it upside down and threw it in your car. You got French fries in between the seats that go back 6 months. And you think, well, they're there just in case I get hungry. Need a little pick-me-up. Why don't you just clean the car? Because it keeps saying, it keeps going there. It keeps messing with you. Yeah, I know. It doesn't go away. Hey, why don't you clean the car? Well, why don't you clean the car? Why don't? And a lot of people are fatigued because they're not doing, the one thing they know they ought to do because it doesn't go away. It just keeps tapping you on the shoulder. So be a person who has peace. A person who has peace is a person who knows the right thing to do and does the right things. They have peace within themselves so they can come in and they can create peace where they go. Sometimes a person with peace is influential for peace. They don't even have to do anything. They just have to be who they are. In the middle of conflict and turmoil, and you have peace? How can you have peace when all this is going on? Because there's peace in my heart. That's why. We've been called to be people of wisdom who possess and promote peace. What has you worked up? How will you calm down? What will you do to get there? And do it. Let me pray. Lord, you're the Prince of Peace and you promote peace. And the biggest place we need peace is within our heart right now. God, the stuff that has us worked up, the things we want to complain about, or where we want to put down other people, not much place for that. Help us to be those folks who do have peace within, so we can be peacemakers, because we sure need it on this earth. This we pray in Christ's name. Amen.